we can see, right? So if we take a look at alphabet, the alphabet can be divided into two parts. First one is we call it vowels and consonant. Most probably vowels. What we're going to talk about the vowels. Vowels are the letters that we can pronounce it from our throat, right? But if we take a look at consonant, consonant are the letters that we can pronounce them by using our tongue. Maybe we have to use lips. So we use plenty of places to give the proper sound. And the alphabet, the first chapter will go into details about the vowels and consonants that make up the alphabet, describing the variety of sound each letter can make. So we have 26 letters. So 26 letters can be divided into two parts. First one is for vowel and the second part for consonant. So vowels are divided into three main groups. First, we'll look at tricky vowel sounds, specifically focusing on difference between. The first one is monophthongs. So vowels can be divided into three parts. Like mono means, you guys know about mono. Mono means single. So if you take a look at headsets, we have stereo and mono. Mono means single. So thongs means sound. So mono plus thongs, it's like monophthongs. So standard vowel sounds, as we talk about A, E, I, O, U sound. It's not U. U is not not an vowel sound, because U, if we need to pronounce U, we have to use our mouth, lips, tongues to pronounce that sound. But U has, the letter U has two sounds. First one sound and the other one U sound. Okay. So this second one is diphthong. Two vowel sounds that glide together in a single syllable. Two vowel sounds can be seen in here. So triphthongs mean three vowel sounds that glide together in a single syllable. So vowels are divided into three main groups. So first one, monophthongs, diphthongs, triphthongs, right? So mono means, now we're gonna take a look at monophthongs, single sounds, right? Monophthongs, it's like, you know, these vowels are subdivided into long, open, and short. It means like short. So we use open and short. So long sounds are those which are normally capable of being sustained or carried on. Short sounds are those which are normally incapable of being sustained. Like long sounds like tall. So in that case, we pronounce the vowel a little bit longer, like tall, palm, curl, leaves, likewise. But if we take a look at short, we pronounce this one really short period, like it's not could, it should be could. It's not it's not not, it should be not. It's not it's a, it's a, likewise. That is a car, that's wrong. That is a car, likewise. So it's not just, should be just. Man, get, it, likewise. When we make monophthong sounds, we form the shape that make the sound. Our mouth doesn't change shape as we form the sound, right? So these are the long vowels. We can say in Sinhala language, we can say a, e, u, o, likewise. So it's like car, key, like do, bird, for. So we are pronouncing it a little bit longer. And the other one is short vowels. Short vowels are words that can be pronounced a little bit shorter than long ones, like a. So it should be cat, a, pet, e, sheep, a, bus, o, dog. It's not dog, it should be dog. U, put, it's like the. Okay, so what we're going to talk about today, here are the first spelling rules that students should know. Every word has at least one vowel. That is the first thing that you should understand. Every syllable has one vowel. So every word has at least one vowel. Every syllable has one vowel. So vowels can be divided into three parts, as we talked about earlier, right? Second one, let's go to the second one. C can say K or S sound, like, you know, k, ik sound and s sound. C, you can use like that. It's like, you know, C can be used for these kind of words like ceiling, that we have taken S sound, Z sound, and we can take the C as a K sound. It's like cat. So C can be used as ik and S sound, likewise is sound. So C, S before an A, E, I, O, Y, like, so you have to use that C, S sound before an A, I, O, Y, like scent, right? So city, cycle, likewise. It says ik sound, K, we call it k sound, before everything else. Cat, clip, likewise. Okay, so you have to understand here, C can say ik or s sound, and C says s before an E and I or Y sounds. It's like, you know, these are the words. And the other pronunciation. So G can say, you can use G for ij sound, right? It's like generation. You can use generation, or you can use ij sound, right? And like ig sound or ij sound, ig or ij sound, like, you know, G can be used like ig, right? Garden, likewise. So G may say ij before and E, I, O, Y, gym, giant, gym, likewise. It says G before everything else, like garden, glad, likewise. Q is always followed by A and U. That is one of the spelling rule. So if you use Q, you have to use, if maybe you have to use either A or U. Okay, so queen, likewise, you are really familiar with these kind of words. And double the consonants F and I and S at the end of one syllable word that has just one vowel. Just one vowel. Steep, spell, pass, likewise. So F sound, if you need to write stiff, so you have to use two words, two sound, double at the end of the word, right? As a letter. Spell, pass, likewise. You cannot use PAS, right? So double the consonant F, L, and S at the end of a one syllable word that has only just one vowel. So in each of these words has only one vowel, right? Let's go for next one. To spell the sounds at the end of word, we use CK, okay. So we have to use that word, like use CK after short vowel, sick. After everything else, you can say only K, like, you know, milk, likewise. Okay, next, let's jump up to next one. S never follows X. Number of words that pronounce with an S sound after the letter X, which often leads to spelling mistakes. The rules is that the letter S never follows X in a word's instant. The letter C is used to achieve the S sound in the word, as it's the case with words like exercising, excite, likewise. So let's go for the next one. Drop the silent E before most suffixes. So you guys know about suffixes and prefixes, right? So many words end with a silent E. When adding suffix that start with a vowel, the silent E should usually remove. In American English, for example, the word raise would become raisin when adding ing. When adding ed to bake, the new word would be baked. So you have to use only D. Get familiar with the exception so you can always correctly decide whether to drop the silent E to keep it. Silent E when adding able, manageable. Keep silent E when word ends with two E's, like feeding. Likewise, suffix Y is special case when the silent E is removed. Skin, shiny, but keep with the decay. You have to use that one. Be prepared for that. Right. So next one, do not end a word with V and J. There are no commonly used words that end with letter V or J. If you are spelling a word that ends with V, V sound, you can be sure that there's a silent E on the end as the high job. You cannot use without E or without a vowel, you know. So words that end with G sound and type typically spelled with ich and DGE. So you have to spell with DGE, J sound at the end of, such as judge. So you don't use that J sound. It should be DGE or edge. Likewise, if you are writing a word that is used in ordinary communication, it won't end with V and J sounds, right? The letters especially. So let's go to next one. Before E, write I before E when the sound is longer E except after the letter. Example, relief, relief, repair, likewise. So when these are when there is a C preceding, so you can see then it is EI. Understand? So receive, receive, sealing, deceive, conceive. Okay. So you have to make sure I before E. That is wonderful letter. Right. Let's go for next one. Y as a long E. When Y or EY ends a word in an, what is that? Unaccent syllable. The Y has the long sounds of E. Like it's like money, honey, key, likewise. So unaccent, money, honey, key, right? So next one, E before I. Write E before I when the sound is a long A. Example, way, right? Frame, rain, like another way. Remember this, I before E except after C, or when sounding like as a neighbor, way, like when the EI and EI combination is not pronounced E, it is usually spelled A, right? OI or OY. Use OI in the middle of a word and use OY at the end of a word. Example, boil, soil, toy, boy, toy, likewise. And the other one is O, U, and OW. So use O and U in the middle of a word and use OW at the end of words other than those that end in N or D. Examples, mouse, house, found, mount, burrow, row, throw, crow, likewise. Next one, double the consonant. When B, D, G, M, N, or P appear after a short vowel in a word with two syllables, double the word. So you can consider, like example, rabbit, manner, dagger, banner, drummer, likewise. Let's go for next one. CH, each sound. At the beginning of a word, use CH. Like choose, champ. At the end of a word, use TCH, watch, catch. So this is very essential one. When the CH sound is followed by URE or ION, use T, like picture, rapture, likewise. Okay. Let's go for next one. Suffixes and inflections rule. Okay. Word ending with silent E, drop the E before adding suffix, which brings with a vowel. State, stating, like, liking, likewise. So you have to use that. So these are the most common spellings rules to be learned. I guess this lesson would be helpful for you.